Welcome to Lecture Online. When we published video number 37 in this particular series, it didn't take long before some viewers wrote in saying there's definitely a mistake in your video. We took a look at it, no question they were correct, so here we're doing the video again. What were we trying to do in video number 37? We were trying to show that the divergence of the product of a function and a vector is equal to the following. It's equal to the product of the function times the divergence of the vector plus the vector times the gradient of the function. And of course, the product here is a dot product. All right, how do we show that? Well, there's various ways to do that, but we're going to start out by showing how we're using the product rule, because essentially, when we take the divergence of a product, essentially we're taking the derivative of a product, so we should be able to use the same product rule. To help us along, we have the definition of the Dell operator, and we have the vector definition right here. All right, so first of all, let's see why that should be correct. If we're going to use the product rule, that means we take the first, which is the function, times the derivative of the second. Now in this case, the derivative is the divergence of the second, so it's times the divergence of the second plus the second, which is now the vector, times the derivative of the function. In this case, the derivative has to be the gradient of the function, and the times is a dot product, so times the gradient of the function. And you can see that, yes, indeed, we get exactly what's up there. But now let's try to work that out slightly differently. We'll go by the definitions of what these things are. So what we're going to do is we take the Dell operator. So we have the Dell operator, which is right here. Well, let me write it out. Erase this here. Let me write out the Dell operator, which is equal to x unit vector times the partial derivative with respect to x, plus the y unit vector times the partial derivative with respect to y, plus the z unit vector times the partial derivative with respect to z. And we're going to take then the divergence of this product. Now this product, that will be f times the vector, and the vector, of course, can be written as a sub x in the x direction, plus a sub y in the y direction, plus a sub z in the z direction. And you can see then that the scalar function is therefore multiplied times each of the components of the vector. And so what we do here is we put parentheses around it, so now we have the same thing. We have the Dell operator, and the Dell operator does a divergence on the product of the scalar function and the vector. All right. So essentially, when we take the divergence, of course, we now have the divergence of product, but because essentially this can be written as follows. So this can be written as the Dell operator, like this. Now we're going to apply the scalar function on each of the three components. So this is essentially the divergence of the scalar function times a sub x in the x direction, plus the scalar function times a sub y in the y direction, plus the scalar function times a sub z in the z direction, like this. And now we can see that when we do take the divergence, essentially, we're going to take it one component at a time, so that these belong together, these belong together, and these belong together because they each have the x, y, and z unit vectors. Okay, now we're ready to apply, but in each case, we still have a product. So we have a product here, and a product here. So in each case, we still have to use the product rule. So the x unit vectors will drop off, so it's the partial derivative with respect to x of this product. So we get the first, I'll put in parentheses, so we get the first, times the partial derivative with respect to x of a sub x, plus the second, which is a sub x, times the partial derivative with respect to x of the function, like this. So that's what we have for the first term, plus the second term will be equal to the first times the partial derivative with respect to y of a sub y, plus the second, a sub y, times the partial derivative with respect to y of the scalar function. And now we do the same for the third term. So plus, we have the function, the first, times the partial derivative with respect to z of a sub z, plus the second, a sub z, times the partial derivative with respect to z, and that's hardly the symbol here, there we go, times the function right there. I think what we can do now is the following. We're going to take these first three terms right here. Let's take those three terms and group them together. Notice when I do that, I can factor out the function because it's the function multiplied times the partial derivative with respect to x of a sub x times the partial derivative with respect to y of a sub y times the partial derivative with respect to z of a sub z. So I can factor those three terms out, and then I can factor out an f. So I end up with an f times the partial with respect to x of a sub x plus the partial with respect to y of a sub y plus the partial with respect to z of a sub z. What do I have left? I have the other three terms left. And notice in each case, I have the partial with respect to x of f, the partial with respect to y of f, and the partial of y with respect to f of z. Well, let's write those out and see what we get. So that would be, factor that out. These are all plus, so then we have plus a sub x times the partial with respect to x of f plus a sub y times the partial with respect to y of f plus a sub z, where we go here, a sub z times the partial with respect to z of f, like this. Okay, we're getting closer to our goal. Let me put some equal signs here, because these are all equal to one another. Now take a look at this, and take a look at this. So we have the function multiplied times this. Now what's this equal to? Well, this definitely is equal to the divergence of the vector, because we have a sub x, a sub y, a sub z, and then the partial derivatives of each of those components, which is exactly what we have over here. So this right here can be replaced by f times the divergence of the vector A. Plus, now the question is, does this look exactly the same as what we have over here? Well, remember that if we're going to do that, now let's take a look here. Let's write down the divergence, the gradient of f. So the gradient of f is equal to the partial derivative with respect to x of f. And of course, then we have the x unit vector plus the partial derivative with respect to y of f, and then y unit vector plus the partial derivative with respect to z of f times the z unit vector. So remember that this is the definition of the gradient of a function, and we get a vector quantity. And then over here, when we do the dot product, what we do then is we multiply each of the components, x, y, and z components of the vector, times each of the components of the gradient. So the components of the gradient would be right here. That would be the x component. This would be the y component. This would be the z component. And then multiply each of those, because the dot product with the x, the y, and the z component of the vector. And then you can see that this expression right here is simply the result of this. So we can say that this is therefore equal to the vector a sub x, the vector a, multiplied via the dot product times the gradient of f, because that's exactly what we have over here based upon the concept there. And so you can see that in the end, we can show that this right here does indeed equal the right side, because that's exactly what we get when we work it out. And that's what we're trying to show on video number 37 in the series. Hopefully this does not have any mistakes in it. So please take a look and see if you agree with what I just did. I think that's how it's done.
What did you do wrong last time?
I came up with a wrong definition. I think the last time I took the, I think it was the divergence, I remember the divergence of the vector, and I put down the wrong definition. And always have to have the right definitions,
It helps.
or it doesn't work.